In 1926, a man by the name of Louis Sanson decided that he wanted to expand a new suburban area in Sao Paulo. Unfortunately, as he was making those designs, the 1929 stock market crash impacted the entire world. Combined with a lot of political turmoil with Brazil, put paid to the price of having a hospitality unit. However, it was decided that Sao Paulo instead could become a racetrack. So, in 1929, following a couple of plans and a few other conversations, Alfred Agach, the man who was responsible for a redevelopment scheme, took the name Interlagos from the term Interlaken in Switzerland, which, for those that don't know, means between the lakes in Portuguese. And then, following construction and a couple of years of toil, in 1940, the first Grand Prix of Sao Paulo was underway. It's been 80 years since then, but it's not been that long since round 3 of the Megane Trophy, because we're here for round number 4 of the Renault Megane Power Max Trophy Cup for the Megane Series. I'm Jack TM53, your commentator, as always, for Lobby 2. We've got one wonderful circuit we're going to be racing round. Qualifying is already underway at the moment. Apologies for the lateness of the stream, a couple of technical difficulties getting things started, but we're back and running, which is really good to see. You're obviously watching CRT Pip Didjar at the moment. We're halfway through qualifying, and D10 Piper, after the first set of runs, leads the way on a 1 minute 34.7. As I say, that Pip Didjar just moves up to third. Good lap time from him. Now, good to see that we've got a full lobby in tonight. Really good to have everyone back. I'm really looking forward to seeing how a number of drivers who didn't compete last week at Tsukuba get on for this race. Whilst we watch the drivers go around on circuit, I'm going to run with Martin. Well, I was about to, but unfortunately Martin's gone off, or rather he's pulled over at the Senna S. So everyone's just coming into the lobby. Good evening to everyone who is watching. Whilst this is going on, I'm just going to run through the championship standings for Lobby 2 after a very frenetic round 3 at Tsukuba last week. So, Martin JL09 leads the way on 56 points. He's got a 4-point advantage on Snav, who took his first ever Renault Megane Trophy win last week at Tsukuba, so he'll be able to build on that with another good result. Snav on 52 points in second place. D10 Piper is third on 45 points. NXTGEN Danzo, the man in the podiums at the moment, 2 in the first 3 races, he's on 40 points. Slow Seamus is on 35 in 5th place. Suburtus, he's in 6th on 33. Duds, after getting his first podium last week at Tsukuba, he is on 28 points in 7th place in the championship. As you can see there, his orange bright fast car livery he's got on there. Bigsy is in 9th place. One to watch tonight. Bigsy does have form around this circuit. Last season he finished on the podium, so let's see what the Hampshire driver can do tonight around this circuit. 1805 was one of the drivers who didn't race with us last week, unfortunately. Where is 1805 at the moment? He is somewhere on circuit, I'm fairly certain of it. There he is in that steel seal car. It's been with him for a long time. He is currently 10th in the championship on 21 points. Obviously missed last week, unfortunately. Then, in terms of 11th in the championship, the man in 3rd at the moment in qualifying, Pip Didjar, he is 11th on 18 points. He had a bit of a torrid time last 2 weeks, but his qualifying form looking very good so far. So good to see the Dread sponsored car a little bit higher up on the grid at the moment. Mike Edwards, he's in 12th place in the championship on 20 points. Shadow Stalker on 13 points in 13th position. Roving Island, who missed last week unfortunately due to various personal circumstances, is back. Good to have him in that Joyce Design car. And then the 55.8 is the man who rounds out the championship standings on 8 points, same as Roving Island. So obviously 55.8 retired last week from the race, unfortunately for him, but he's back in tonight. Really good to see. 2 minutes to go into the qualified session then, so been a bit of a whirlwind this qualifying one. It's gone by very, very quickly. Lap times, we're looking towards the 1 minute 30, somewhere in the mid-range. Martin right behind Mark Parker at the moment. 2 fast cars in the lobby currently, which is interesting. I did not know that myself, but almost unofficial teammates in that sense. Mark currently on a lap. He has no... Ooh, Martin getting this car a little bit sideways, going through Junkow. He's gone off the circuit at Junkow. That's going to compromise his next lap. And in fact, he's not going to have enough time to set another lap after going on to the next one. So that's really compromised Martin. So he's not going to really be able to improve unless he pulls out a mega first Senna S section. D10 Piper currently second. Snav in third. Just getting rid of that penalty very quickly. Pip Didjar in fourth. Best qualifying for Pip Didjar so far, fifth in the championship at the opening round of the Nürburgring. So back on a track that's real world, of course, so he might have a little bit more experience he could play with on that one. Seamus just moved into fifth then. Got a little bit quicker, very tight in the midfield there. 55.8 in sixth, Danzo seventh. You can see how close it is between the drivers. 7/10 behind the CRT Pip Didjar. 18.05 is only 2/10 back, and that's the gap separating 5 drivers. So Danzo there in 7th. Bigsy just round outside the top 10, but don't underestimate his racecraft of Bigsy. That's where he was very good last season around Interlagos. You know, Bigsy last season, he qualified 8th, finished 3rd. He's in 10th at the minute. Don't put it past him to secure a relatively good result. Duds in 11th at the moment. Mike Edwards in 12th. He's got Bertus right behind him. The whole field separated from 1st to 14th by 2 seconds. That's very tight. Shadowstalker currently on a personal best. I'd expect Shadowstalker to go quicker. He does know this circuit, Shadowstalker, so I'm fairly certain he'll be closing that gap. But we're coming up amazingly towards the end of the lap. Bertus goes quicker. He's just moved, or rather consolidated his effort there. Danzo up to second. That's a monumental effort from the Adrian Flux driver. And he's got another lap to attack, but he's abandoned it at turn 1. That's unfortunate for him. Martin now coming towards the line. You can see, I think that's Bertus, rather that's Duds coming towards the line. He's not going to improve. Martin doesn't improve either. Who's next up? I think that looks like 18.05 comes to the line. He improves up to 7th. That's a good lap. Seamus improves as well, so he gets closer to the pace. The top 7, top 8, top 9, top 9 separated by less than a second. Bertus is still on a lap, but he needs to clear that penalty. Here comes then D10 Piper, 3rd in the championship, won a race earlier this season. What can he do? Doesn't improve. Snav just behind. Is he going to improve? Not quite. Good consistent lap times though. Anyone else currently on a lap? Pip Didjar is. He'll be the next one up. Seamus is done for the race in terms of qualifying. 55.8's done. Bertus is the other driver, I think, on a lap. So we'll cut forward to Pip Didjar then. What can he do? He's coming out of turn number 14. He's just going through 15. Or rather, he's coming through 14 at the minute. He comes in up to 140 miles an hour. Completely flat, of course, in the Meganes, as in an F1 car. And he does improve Pip Didjar up to 5th. Good lap time for him. Here comes Bertus. He's not inside the top 8, and he's not going to beat because he's still got a penalty. So, unless there's anyone else on a lap, which I don't believe there is, Martin JL09 with quite a commanding advantage, 4/10, takes pole position at Interlagos. A phenomenal effort. 3 pole positions out of 4 races. He's took another pole position. He's absolutely fantastic qualifier, is Martin, by the evidence we've seen so far this season. Obviously he didn't take pole at Tsukuba last week, but that's because he wasn't allowed to qualify. So really good effort from him. Danzo on the front row, keeping up his good form. D10 Piper and Snav coming in the second row. Pip Didjar and Seamus just behind as well. Good effort from Pip Didjar to get into 5th place. But that is qualifying as it stands, and we go into the race. So you've got Martin JL09 on the left hand side in that white and red Sales I car. Danzo on the right hand side of your screen with the blue Adrian Flux car. The field very close in terms of lap time. 20 minutes on the right hand side. Here come the numbers. And the race is live from Interlagos. It's a really good start from Martin. Danzo's got off the line cleanly as well. It's a good start from 18.05. So Bertus coming up on the outside further back as well. He's had a flash start, but it's Martin who leads. JL9 currently has the lead. Danzo second. D10 Piper and Snav side by side going through the centre S. Got to be careful. Don't want to lean onto each other. D10 Piper emerges in front. Seamus 5th. 18.05 in 6th. We've got 55.8. Everyone else looks to have got through the field. nice and clean, really good to see as the approach. Now, turn number 4, which is coming through the little section of Interlagos. Martin on the brakes, looks quite clean so far. Danzo running a little bit deep. Opportunity for D10 Piper, he's up the inside. Coming through turn number 5, that's a good opportunist move. Here comes Snav looking towards to go around the outside. It'd be brave to try and go around the outside of turn 7 if he tried it. But he's looking to do so, and in fact I think he's got the move all sorted. Great move from Snav. He's up to 3rd. Danzo started 2nd, down to 4th. He's been challenged by Slow Seamus. He's in 5th place currently. We'll come out of the screen just so we can get the other camera options available with Mike Edwards in the midfield looking to try and get past Biptidjar. That's Seamus who's gone into the wall coming out of Pinarino. Unfortunate for him, he's dropped to 14th. But at the moment, no real knocks of contact, which is really good to see from the drivers. Bertus we're on board with at the moment. He's 7th, just coming towards Junkow. That's Danzo looking for a move further up the field. He was threatening Snav. And this is an opportunity. Martin, look at the gap. He's already pulling away as Martin. And these 3 in a line at the moment. Snav will no doubt be looking to try and attack D10 Piper rather, going into turn number 1. So what can he do? He's looking for a move as Danzo. Snav looks to the inside. He's going to brake, but nothing doing there. So D10 Piper holds on. Snav scrambling all over the curbs. You can see how close Danzo is to the back of Snav at this moment in time. There's 1805 in 5th. He's got the 55.8 behind him in 6th. There's Bertus, who's being pressured by Bigsy. See what Bigsy could do as he comes down a straight between 3 and 4. He's on the outside for the corner. It's going to be interesting to see if he could pull it around the outside. He's going to try. Pipdidjar going late on the brakes. Little bit of contact. But Bigsy has to fight for another day. He's still in 8th place. Snav and the drivers at the front. You can see Snav. Oh, Martin's made a mistake somewhere. D10 Piper getting involved. Here comes Snav up the inside. Compromise with D10 Piper and Snav goes through. He's up to 2nd. Martin, ooh, a little bit of contact from D10. Got a yield on that one. He did sort of push Snav wide. And sure enough, he just slots in behind. Good driving from D10 just to be sporting in that sense. Danzo right in the midst of all this. And that's allowed 1805 having a little sniff. And D10 Piper, just as we say that, gets right back up the inside of Snav. And Danzo, can he really go around the outside? He can through turn number... Well, that's impressive. Danzo back onto the podium. A little bit of side-by-side contact between D10 Piper and Snav. And Snav now looking to try and get back up the inside of Danzo through turn number 14. A little bit of leaning on one another, a bit of contact, which is unnecessary really. As they come through Arquibancadas, which is what that little stretch is called between 14 and 15. Snav on the inside, but he's not got the slipstream. A little bit of contact between the two down the straight. Unnecessary. Martin went deep into the corner there. D10 Piper had all sort of incident over the curb. 1805 made this, well, effectively a quintuplet battle now for the first spot at the top step. 2 seconds covering the top 5 at the moment. Pipdidjar's in 6th. He's been pressured by Bigsy. He's up to 7th now. And he was behind the 55.8 was Bigsy. Has he gone off? He has. 55.8, we haven't seen it, is at the back of the field again. But currently, Bigsy pressuring Pipdidjar, and they're closing on Snav now, who's down to 5th. So something's happened to Snav while we've cut away. So much action going on, ladies and gentlemen, at the minute. It's so difficult to try and keep up with everything that's going on. Absolutely wonderful racing. Interlagos being such a great circuit for these cars. Pipdidjar still 6th. He's just sliding on the brakes there. Opportunity beckons for Bigsy if he could take advantage of it. There's Bertus in 8th. Duds is up to 9th following his qualifying, where he started in outside the top 10. Roving Island having a great race inside the top 10 on his return to the championship after missing last week. That's a really good effort so far from Roving Island. You know, best result this season for Mr. Roving is 12th at the Nürburgring. He has had a top 10 position before. He had that last season at Interlagos, funnily enough, the circuit we're at, so he's got a certain affinity for the circuit. Mike Edwards 11th, Seamus 12th, Shadowstalker 13th, Parker 14th. There's absolutely line astern, but there's so much action going on. I have to try and cut forward because I believe, yes, Martin has gapped D10 Piper and the rest of the crew behind him. Danzo just shadowing in 3rd place at the moment. Really impressed with Danzo this season. His step up to get some podiums has been really good so far, but he's got to keep this up. D10 Piper Martin have been absolutely fantastic this season in terms of addition to the championship. They've really stepped up everyone else's game. 1805, good showing it at the moment, up in 4th. Been a while since we saw 1805 right at the sharp end of the field. He's certainly got the ability. Snav's down in 5th and he's lost time, so not certain what's happened to Snav. A man in 2nd in the championship at the moment. Quarter of the race gone and he's fallen back. Pit Didjart putting the pressure on him. Might look for a move up the inside. And he goes, ooh, little touch of the back of the rear bumper there, but no harm done, which is the main thing. Bigsy just watching this. I said it earlier about Bigsy. He's got the racecraft and he's moving his way through the field already. Bertus is 8th at the moment, running a lonely race. Ooh, just gets away with it coming out of junk car. I thought he was going to go around. Dud's 9th. Roving Iron 10th, all line astern, but Mike Edwards has got pressure from Mark Parker. Mark on the inside, the CRT driver. He's on the inside. Edwards giving them a lot of room there. Oh, a little bit of contact between the final corner. As long as they lean on each other, it should be okay. Scottish driver on the inside as they approach the centre S. Will he go later on the brakes? Still on the inside. Side by side, potentially through centre S to give each other room. Still side by side, that's Mike Edwards who's gone off the circuit in front of them. But Parker stays in 13th. Has Edwards got any form of run on Seamus, who's down to 11th place? So it was Seamus, rather, who went off the circuit. Not quite, he's not quite close enough. So Seamus having a dogged time at the moment. 55.8 to 14th. Shadowstalker's made a mistake somewhere. But it's Martin who still leads the way as he slides the car through turn 8 and turn 9. D10 Piper's got away from Danzo. Well, Danzo being pressured by 1805 now. 1805 hasn't had a podium since Brands Hatch Indy last season. It's a long time since he's been on that rostrum. Can he add to his podium tally in the series? He's done a purple sector actually. In the middle sector he's looking for a move potentially up the inside of the junk car, but that camera angle was a little bit skewed, we shall call it. A couple of people commenting. Unfortunately I can't read the comments at the moment because I haven't got my laptop open, so I can't read them at the moment. But in any case, 1805 looking now for a good move. He's right in the slipstream as they come towards the centre S. We're going to ride on board, or rather the exterior camera of 1805 is on the inside. Breaks earlier than Danzo, and Danzo just sweeps back through. Will he try and get a good run through centre S? He doesn't, does the 1805, and he just stays in 4th for the time being. Snav still has Pip Didjart and Bigsy with him. Only coming up towards the middle part of the race really at the moment. Bertus in 8th, Dud's 9th at the moment, so it's a good showing from him. He's keeping up his performance, is what exactly he needs to do. There's Roving Island in 10th, he's got a nice gap to Seamus. Mike Edwards still being bothered by Parker. But at the moment seems to have just settled down a little bit in the front fight. Danzo's still in 3rd, doing what he needs to for the time being. Snav still has Pip Didjart and Bigsy behind him at the moment. Got to be careful, Snav. Not sure what happened to him earlier on in the race. But he does need to try and switch up a few gears and keep himself just plugging away where he can. So, just coming up to halfway through this race now. Purple sector from Snav there. Quite a good lap that. 34. Oh, that's Pip Didjart going a little bit off the circuit. He's lost a lot of momentum, he has. And that's going to give Bigsy an opportunity to try and get up inside the top 6. You can see the drivers ahead actually of Danzo in 1805. 1805 already ahead at the moment. Will Danzo try and brake later? Well, 1805 brake very early again, but this time he's got a little bit of contact. Probably didn't realise Danzo was still there, but 1805's into 3rd. Steel Seal driver on the podium now. Danzo in 4th, Snav 5th, Pip Didjart 6th. Bigsy not able to get past him in the end. Pip Didjart though going aggressively defensive, heading towards turn number 4. But Bigsy not quite close enough, but then again Pip Didjart's run deep. This is an opportunity for Bigsy, the Hampshire driver, up the inside and into 6th place he goes. Snav just set fastest lap on that last run round, and Bigsy as well, not too far away from the lap time. Pip Digio's picked up a penalty potentially for running wide through Interlagos. Bigsy certainly showing his racecraft at the moment. Up in 6th place now. Snav, ooh, a little bit of lag going on there. I'm not sure what's happened to Danzo. We had a very quick jolt of lag there, but Danzo's down to 5th. He was very slow. Snav looking to put the pressure on going through Junção. He's right on the rear spoiler of 1805. We'll ride on floor camera with him as he comes towards and round turn 14. You can see the number 18 so clearly in his front camera at the moment. 1805 goes defensively immediately, giving each other a lot of room of the two drivers. And Snav lost a little bit of momentum because of that. 1805 been braking earlier for this corner. Snav brakes about the same time. So either that's the common line and Danzo's exceptionally good on the brakes through the Senna S, or those two just taking it on the side of caution. Obviously we don't know what brake bias these drivers are running, so that could be a factor. But Snav in the slipstream now as they come towards turn 4. Ooh, not quite close enough, and in fact he's got that a little bit wrong as Snav. Danzo not close enough to capitalise. But all of this fighting is bringing the drivers closer together. The battle for third heating up, because Bigsy is now closing the gap himself. Pip Digio's not too far away, and Bertus just running in 8th at the moment. Martin's fought back in terms of fastest lap on that last lap. 34 flat from Martin. Absolutely gone and up the road again. Has driven an excellent race so far, but he's still got 12 and a bit minutes, or rather 7 and a bit minutes so to go. They've done 12 and a bit at the moment. D10 Piper, he's in 2nd, doing what he can at the moment. 1805, Snav, Danzo, Bigsy. What about further back? Seamus in the fight now. He's right on the back of Roving Island. Roving Island been just setting consistent lap times, but slow Seamus definitely going quicker. It's been a very toiling time for the Guyson driver. Oh, Seamus getting a little bit twitchy going through Junção there. Look how close he is to the back. I think he had to actually hit the back of Roving Island there, giving him a little bit of a momentum. Roving Island not hooking his car to the inside of that curb through turn 14. Here comes the slipstream though now for Seamus. In fact, he's backed off. In fact, he's paused, he's out. So something's going on with Seamus there. Not quite certain what's going on with the Irish driver, but it means Roving Island still currently in 10th place. Parker has finally got past us in his pursuit of the Mike Edwards, but the 55.8 has now joined them. That's a really good run from the 55.8. The works driver right up the inside. That's a great move. Really good move from the 55.8. He just saw the tiniest of gap and through he went. But you've got to be careful because Mike Edwards right in the slipstream. But the line of stern going through turn 4. 55.8 looks for a little look at the inside of Parker. You can tell the 55.8 again has the pace. You can see he's been lapping much quicker than Parker over the last few laps. Two Scottish drivers. Mike Edwards really underneath the back of the 55.8's rear wing there. Shadowstalker in last place at the moment. Had a bit of a lonely... Ooh, a little bit of contact between 55.8 and Mike Edwards. But I thought the door was going to be open for Parker there. 1805 still leading that battle in third. Just while we watch these three drivers at the moment. Quarter of the race left to go now. Can 55.8 hook a nice line through Junção? He does hook up a nice line, but Mark Parker didn't really do anything wrong in that corner. It's going to be quite a Herculean task to try and dive it on the brakes going into turn 1. We know how clean a driver Mark Parker is though. CRT drivers well known for that. What about 55.8? Is he going to try and make a lunge? It looks like he's too far back. And sure enough he is. So we'll cut back to this battle later on. Well, I was about to say that. You can see how close the works driver is. Back of Mark Parker. He's really clambering over the curbs. I'm surprised he'd be surprised if he doesn't get a penalty for that. Looks like he hasn't. But here we go. He's on the inside now as the 55.8. He's got just enough momentum to bring him alongside the fast car next to him. Can he brake later? He can. And clean through he goes. He's into 12th. So his recovery drive has brought him a couple of places. Whether he'll catch Seamus and Roving Island is another matter. Dunn's still running in 9th, a lonely race for him. Bertus in 8th. Pip Didjar in 7th. Danzo's down to 6th. So look at the last lap. He's made a mistake somewhere. The man who was on 2nd in qualifying, down to 6th place. Bigsy, ever the ever present, quite literally, is now in the fight for the podium. Snav running a little bit wide through Junkow there. Got to be careful on that one. He's right within the slipstream of 1805. It's not going to be enough to... Well, I say that, 1805 taking a very wide line. A couple of drivers we've seen now so far taking a wider line through turn 14. Rather peculiar, not seen it before. I don't think it's any quicker, but it might be easier for the drivers just to open up the steering a little bit more and carry momentum. Snav late on the brakes. How late was that? To the point where he nearly hit the back of 1805, and he's compromised his run through the corner. I think Bigsy got the best drive he would have wanted. The Hampshire driver lurking around, really. He's in this slipstream. Might have to force Snav to defend. He has a little look, does the Hampshire driver, but nothing doing for now. Kept the momentum going, did Bigsy, and Snav's run wide. That might be a penalty. Snav can't close the door. So Bigsy, if he wants to do this, he's going to have to try and do it the long way round through turn number 6, if he can. Not quite. Snav just ghosting a little bit, and Danzo's rejoining the fun. That's a nice switchback from Bigsy, but he's not close enough to pull it off. Danzo, though, lurking in that Adrian Flux car. Snav taking that wider line. We've seen 2 different lines through that corner. Through Pinarino, you can do that. I was curious to what happened to Danzo earlier in the race. He seemed to be a bit of lag, and then he just stuttered, and then he was very slow out of turn 11. Not sure what happened to him. Pip Didjar's been joined by Bertus, so Bertus gets to have a little bit of fun in these last 2 laps for the drivers. Ooh, Pip Didjar on the limit. But let's see where Bigsy is. He's right on the spoiler of Snav. He's going to have to try and do this the hard way then. He's going to go around the outside through the final corner. Looks like he's got a good amount of momentum. Danzo in the background just watching this. We'll ride on board with Danzo watching them too. Bigsy's brake later. He's going to try and go around the outside. Oh, a little bit of phasing between the 2 drivers, but Bigsy has pulled the move off. Snav cuts his way over the curb and straight back through. Does Snav? He's back into 4th, but he hasn't closed the door on Bigsy. Now he has. Here comes Danzo. He's on the outside. Where does he go, does Danzo, for this one? Bigsy has to be careful as well. Snav ultra defensive. Now he's have to leave the door open. Bigsy's got his nose up the inside. Little bit of phasing from Snav going on. A little bit sideways. Nearly thought there was going to be contact between the 2. Bigsy's still alongside, but I think Danzo is going to try and look for the inside at turn 6. Bigsy gives him enough room. Way too much room. He's going to look to switch back, which he's going to do. Danzo, is he going to cover it? He does. Bigsy, after looking like getting into 4th, I thought he pulled off a wonderful move around the outside of the centre S. Unfortunately, finds himself now in 6th place. But this means 1805, 2 seconds up the road. Could he be on for a first podium of the season? This is a great fight for 4th though at the moment. Just looking a little bit further back, Pip Didjar still in 7th, Bertus 8th. Seamus and Duds 9th and 10th. So Seamus's recovery, did a 34.6 that last lap, has been excellent. Don't think he'll go any higher than that now, providing there's no incidents. Duds 10th. Roving Island, good drive this from Roving Island, is in 11th. 55.8 12th. Parker 13th. Seems to have gapped themselves out, but Martin leads the way on his final lap. Now Danzo up in 4th place at the moment. All different cars go potentially 3 wide. They're looking to try and do that. Snav's on the inside. They lean on each other through centre S. Snav phases again, but Snav keeps hold of 4th. Danzo, for a moment, might have thought he got that position. Bigsy looking to try and cut under the inside of turn 3. He's got a good run. I've lost a little bit of momentum, and Danzo's in the slipstream of Snav. And sure enough, Bigsy slots back in before they get to turn 4. Whew, hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final lap. Absolutely wonderful fighting for 4th place as it stands. Wow. Here we go then. Coming through towards turn 6, round turn 7. Let's see Snav just holding on for the time being. Danzo breaks later. It is an opportunity through that corner, but that's now gone. This is the last lap, let's not forget. Snav still 4th. 1805, looks like he's just about got 3rd. Just got a couple of corners to go. Danzo looks again to the inside. Nothing doing. Will Danzo try and make a lunge coming towards Junkow? I'm conscious of Martin. No, but we'll cut back to them quickly. What a drive from this man. The Sales Eye Interactive driver has nailed it once again by 7 seconds. A huge margin. Martin leads the way. A great result for Martin. Takes another victory this season. D10 Piper, second place. Great drive from him. Didn't see much of him. 1805, what a result for him in third. Look at the carnage behind in fourth. Oh, 1805's gone sideways. That doesn't really matter too much. Danzo has got fourth. Bigsy fifth, Snav sixth. Unfortunately the camera jutted away, unfortunately, but Bursis was 7th, Pip Didjar 8th, Slow Shamus gets 9th on the line from Duds, Roving Islanders 11th, 55.8, case of what could have been once again for the Works driver, he's 12th, Mark Parker and Mike Edwards 13th, 14th, and Shadowstalker coming towards the line. But what a race for 4th place that was, absolutely brilliant. Danzo snatched it at the end from Bigsy. Not sure what happened to Snav, must have just lost the momentum at the final corner. What a race, absolutely brilliant. But Martin is your race winner. Fantastic result for him once again this season. That is his 2nd win of the season. Pole position, fastest lap, the Grand Kellum. What a performance from Martin. So Martin wins this race, obviously with his main, almost arguably main championship rival of D10 Piper coming home in 2nd. 3rd place, 1805, his first podium of the season. Really good for him. I'm really chuffed for him to get that 3rd place. 4th went the way, of course, of Danzo in the end. Nice recovery from him. He was at 6th at one point. Bigsy, had it not been for the fight, could have potentially got a podium, but 5th, he'll be pleased with halving his starting position on that one. Snav in 6th. Unfortunate for him. 2nd in the championship coming into this event was Snav, but it's still good points on the board. I have to say a quick mention to Roving Island as well. I thought he did really well in that race to come home in 11th. Really consistent drive from him. Good to see him back in the championship. The same for everyone else. Really good show from the Megane drivers tonight. Thank you very much for watching, for those who are currently watching the stream at the moment. Just a couple of comments coming from WTFU 1028. Some race, it was absolutely some race indeed. What a spectacle we were in for there. That was really good, clean, fun racing between the drivers. So we will be back next Thursday, of course, for the Meganes. I will say I'm going to stop the stream in a moment and then I'll restart it for the Volkswagen Scirocco Cup, which will be streaming in a few moments time. But in terms of the Meganes, we'll be back for round 5 before the season break at Red Bull Ring. What a race that will be. But in any case, thank you very much for watching tonight. Do tune into the stream again in a couple of minutes time. But wherever you might be watching in the big wide world, have a good one and stay safe.